Well guys, the sun has finally shone again. Today is Tuesday. Got the little doggies out here, but I'll be going home in a little bit. But I am so happy to see some blue skies. I don't know what to do. Still a lot of wetness around the farm. See how wet the leaves are. I had to scrape off the roof. My gutter was getting stopped up. I need to do some more, but I got what I could. And probably already in the gutter. The leaf guards do help, but got a lot of fine material. So anyway, what I got done the other day is I got the all the adjusters in place, and I've decided to go ahead and paint the headlight pieces. I don't know what you really call them. These I just need to be polished. These are stainless. They just need polishing, but these need a lot of work. They're pretty rusty. But actually, all the screws came out real good, so I was quite surprised. So I want to do that. I don't know if I'll do it today or not. I've got to get some stuff prepped for paint tomorrow. It's supposed to be 70 and sunshine all day tomorrow, so come in here and see what we got to do. I guess the lens is still going to fog up. It's still a little bit humid in here, but basically I've got to go and scuff all this that I painted black with the epoxy. It's got to be recoated. Pretty much everything has got to be recoated. Now this side did not get it. This side's been painted blue, so I ain't got to worry about it. So I can just get this. This is pretty much ready. This has got to be sanded and primed. At least down here it's got to be primed. And the rest of it's got to be scuffed. And then this has got to be scuffed. I had a run right here. I took care of that. Got it knocked down, and a few little places here I didn't really like. So we'll just take Scotch-Brite and go over the whole thing. Got to get down under it too, right in there. I was hoping that I wouldn't get on that, but I ended up getting on some of the blue right there. But it'll go back blue. Everything will get recoated anyway. That'll never show because the inner fender will cover that up, but I don't like it, so we'll do what we can to get it back blue. And then of course, if I paint tomorrow, that'll give me 72 hours to get a top coat on, and that will put me into Saturday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday will be 72 hours Saturday evening. So yep, camera's fogging up again, but it is a lot nicer today than it's been. Alright guys, it is Wednesday. The sun is out. It's cool. It's about mid-60s, and we've got to get some stuff reprimed. And I didn't do hardly anything in here yesterday. Just did not do it. So today I'm going to be scuffing this and spraying it, and that not the cowl, but the valance, and also the little part. This cowl panel I'm not going to do today because I've still got to sand and prime it. So just the two fenders. And I'm going to use this epoxy primer, shop line. I can't even read it now, but anyway, this stuff is epoxy, so it has to be mixed in the container. You have to let it sit for at least 15 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up while I'm scuffing everything down and getting it ready. Now this epoxy mixes 2 to 1. 2 of this to 1 of that. So you get a pint and a quart. So the first thing we need to do is stir it this up good. So I find my little opener. Move stuff around, try to find stuff. What I deal with pretty much junk. Ashtray in there to do nothing with. I got in. Two and here. Fountain opener. Now it's a good idea to wear gloves. Unfortunately, I don't have any gloves in here. I got to go get some more. This stuff, you can get it off with lacquer thinner, but it's just a bit messy. When you take this off, you're gonna have some, if it's been open before, you have little crusties around the edge. We'll try to avoid getting that in here. Of course, that's what the strainer's for. And they need to stir this up good because it does separate. Especially if it hadn't been shaken in a long time. This is, I guess I've had this can about 3 weeks, maybe 3 or 4. I ain't used a whole lot out of it. Can I had for a couple months. I like never got it mixed up good. It was really separated. All the solids was on the bottom. This don't look too bad. So then the next thing we gotta do is figure out about how much we're gonna use. So on these mixing jars, I don't know if y'all can tell. I'll see myself. See right here it says 2 to 1 to 1. We're just gonna use these 2 columns here. And we'll just figure about how much we're gonna need. And I'm looking at here and I'm thinking about a 2 would put us about right here. About 1 inch maybe. That's probably gonna be way more than I need really. But 1's gonna be right down here. I gotta put 2 coats, so I'm gonna go ahead and put 2 in here. So I'm gonna fill this line up to 2 with the epoxy, and then I'll add the hardener until we get to this line on the 2 here, and then we'll have it. See, if you're gonna mix paints, be sure to get you some strainers. It does 2 things. One thing, it helps, of course, strain it, but the other thing it does, it keeps the paint off the side of the cup, and that really helps when you're trying to read these letters. So I want the 2 here. And of course it's going to get down the side of this can when I pour it, but this stuff's fairly thick, so you have to kind of pour a little bit and wait a minute. See how much it gets in there. Enough, pour a little more. And you can do just regular ounces too, or there's different scales on here you can use. For a long time I didn't use these scales they got here because it's kind of hard for me to see. A little bit more, but what I did, I used the ounce scale. Alright, so I'm just under the 2 line. This is where it gets messy. This stuff, once it's hardened, it's hard to get up. Then we'll take this. Pour it in here till we get just under the 2. Just make sure you're on the right line, pretty close. Of course, probably don't have to be exact. And then we'll take this out. I'm gonna have a little bit of paint on my stick, but that ain't, a little bit of paint really ain't gonna hurt nothing. And we mix this up good. And then we'll look at the clock. It is 4:15, so we'll be ready. We'll be ready at 4:30. start spraying. Don't want to not let this stuff activate. Alright guys, got everything scuffed, prepped, and tacked. And I did have a few little issues right here with water. So I had to end up sanding that down a little bit more than just scuffing it. Everything's ready, and it took me about 20 minutes, I guess, to do that. So our primer should be plenty set now. It should be activated. Just stir it up, pour it in the paint gun, and we'll go to painting. Alright guys, it is 5 to 5. I just got done cleaning the gun. And if you thought when I was mixing that I probably wasn't mixing enough, you were right. I did not quite have enough. I don't really need 2 full coats on the fenders because they already got a coat on them. But I did need 2 full coats on this balance panel, and I didn't have enough to do it all. So I guess I'm gonna have to try it again sometime. And it may just be, I mean, it may work fine. Actually, this balance panel, it needs a little bit of work done to it. So I may end up having to do some more work to that. So anyway, I got these painted. You can see the streaks. That gun just was not spraying too good. Got some streaks in that one. It really needs 2 coats. So the only other thing I could do, and I see a lot of dust, it's going to have to be tacked back. The only thing I could do is make up another batch and spray it right quick. And I may go ahead and do that since it ain't too late. I don't remember exactly how long the time is between coats. I think it's like 15 minutes. So time I get another batch made, I went ahead and cleaned my gun. Just because I don't like to leave that stuff in the gun. It makes it harder to clean. It only takes 5 minutes to clean this gun, so I can go ahead and make up another batch. And I got an issue with pressure. I've got a 25-foot hose running to this air compressor. There's no regulator on it. Only just whatever little restrictions here. It runs in here to that filter. There's a regulator on the filter, and I got it cranked wide open. And when I push the trigger, I got the regulator at the gun that leaks air. And I got it cranked wide open. And when I pull the trigger, it goes from about 90 pounds to about 18 on this gauge. Now I don't know if the gauge is right, but it just don't seem to. It used to show 25, 28 pounds. That's what I used to run in it. So something has changed, and I don't know what it is. It may just be the other hose. I was, you know, I'm trying to think. It might have been prior to that filter, so maybe the filter is the restriction now. So anyway, I'm having an issue with that, but I think I will go ahead and make up another batch and hit it again, just because I don't like the way it's streaked up. Alright guys, got her painted. Now, I didn't run my fan because I didn't want to stir up too much dust. As you can see, it is pretty fumey in there. So hopefully I won't get too much overspray, but I didn't want to take the time getting I need to wash that floor down, and you know, it gets dark pretty early here, and it is already almost 6. It's 20 to 6. So just got done cleaning the gun and fixing to head to the house. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe if you like.